also have a lot of issues with the Abrahamic faith as a whole.
So, just to clarify, what atheism means, at least in Canada and most parts of the world, is that person doesn't believe in any deities, and that's all there is to it. There are a lot of people out there trying to politicize it, mostly theists, particularly Christians and Muslims, I find, who are trying to make atheism out to be a lot more than just the pure classification there. So, I go by this, and most of the atheists I know do too.
Yeah, I'm not atheist.
So Randolph, did you know that Randolph, did you know that I got a YouTube channel?
Hey, good for you, man. Subscribe to me, and I'll subscribe back to you right away.
I'm already subscribed to you.
Okay, so I should get subscribed to you. I'll look for that. I think I probably already. Yeah, So, this is where can I find the link? Is it in your profile? Let's see.
It's pinned at the top of the room.
Oh, okay. Great.
Just wanted to say, welcome Daniel, welcome Expect, welcome Mason.
Thank you for coming up on stage, Mason. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I already unsubscribed to your channel so.
Also, Randolph, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm going to make sure your channel gets added to the list of atheism YouTube channels on my Atheist Frontier website as well.
Wow, thank you.
There's over 300 channels listed there, and if you're on Twitter, then I'll be announcing to you directly on Twitter as well.
I don't
if you are
yet, I might later.
It's a big time waste, but it's useful when you need to communicate with somebody and the other social networks aren't working. So I got to go because I'm just picking somebody up, but I'm definitely going to make sure I get to your channel, and I'll send you a message if I have trouble finding it. I've got the link here, but I'm on my phone. I need to do this on PC. So
thanks, Randolph. Have a great day.
Thanks for the information on the Collider project. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So that was amazing. He actually knows people. He might actually be able to get something started on that. That's amazing. Oh, I wish him good luck on that. Oh, that's amazing. So everybody in the audience, I'm going to send out invitations. Feel free to come up on stage. I like to have everybody up on stage. It's the best way to get a conversation started. Brandon, welcome.
Hey, what up?
Hey. Oh, crap. I forgot to do something.
Oh.
Uh-oh, CT's back in the room.
Welcome, CT. Please feel free to come on stage.
Oh gosh, do we need that drama right now?
I can just always kick him. It's great.
Can we be civilized? Can we be like civilized?
That's your call, dude.
I hope we can like talk like civilized persons.
Not we, you. Not we, you.
I
it's a given that Donald does. It's that's on you, CT.
All you.
No, it's not. You are like
CT. I'm gonna say this one thing, and I'm gonna let you keep going, okay? I have spent, we've had about 2 or 3 different rooms together. You came in my room earlier with some real negative attitudes, just all by your lonesome. And then when I first heard you speak earlier, it was you yelling cuss words at Donald about his wife and daughter being sex workers.
I have no clue.
I think you should, keep it civil, keep it cute, just like we all are.
Thank you, Magic. I appreciate that deeply.
Your testimony is useless because you are a friend of Donald.
I'm not Donald's friend. Donald
like 4 days ago. I've known you for what, like 4 days, Magic?
Yeah, we've not known each other long. Donald, respectfully, you're a stranger.
Together, you are biased toward Donald. It's like you are.
He acts like you and I haven't literally argued.
All right, Magic, fuck off. I'm moving you to the audience, and you're not going to be on stage anymore. So fuck off.
I haven't known
Magic.
Donald.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't know Magic. Magic doesn't get. Oh, I'm just kidding, Magic. Of course you're going to get to come on stage.
Right as fuck.
No, I was saying
I
I've known
would like,
Donald
I
for
would like,
less,
I would like to
and
hear from Narc. He's obviously
I'm not biased.
it's a shortcut for narcissist. The guy who have a house
I
like
think you
a
mean
picture.
nepotism.
Narc.
I'm not biased towards anybody, and Donald seems like a pretty cool guy to me.
Thanks, Brandon. You too. Reciprocated. I'm already following you. Otherwise, I would just click on following you. But I
What
already am.
word you used, Donald? What when I said narcissism? What was the ism?
Narcissism means that a person is a manipulative, self-centered prick.
Yeah, everything he does is self-based on what he or gets, you know?
Yes,
He
exactly.
or she. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes,
I don't do that.
you do that a lot.
No, demonstrate when I have done that.
I have also people who could testify that you do
Okay,
that a
but
lot.
when have I done that?
You know that would you agree that I could find those people?
No, I want you to demonstrate how I have done that.
Okay, what if I bring somebody like
Sure, go
who would
ahead.
testify
Do
Go
it.
ahead.
that
Do
Do
that.
it.
Do that.
Do
Yeah?
Do that.
it.
Go get them.
Do
Go.
That's
it.
a
Go.
good
Go.
idea.
CT.
Go
Go.
for it.
Go.
Do
Shoot
it.
it
and
is
go get those
easy.
people.
Give me
Shoot
5
and go
I'm
get
gonna
minutes.
those
be
people.
annoying and say, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah, go get those people. Go ahead.
There are
No,
many
no,
I will
no,
find.
no, no, no.
I'll
CT. Wait,
just do
wait,
it.
wait. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. CT, go and get those people.
Who will testify that you are a
All
nurse?
of them. Bring them all here.
See
Yes,
that your
just
suggestion
a
was that
minute.
you had people. No. I'm speaking now. Thank
Just a minute.
Wait,
Your
CT, wait.
suggestion was that you had people on roster who could testify to Donald's behavior. If that is the case, let's bring them into the room and have that discussion. Thank you.
Do that. Until then, I mean,
In
I
the
don't
meantime.
see. Until then, I don't see any reason to even keep you on stage. Maybe. I mean, Magic. Do you agree?
Why you should put me down because I challenge you or something? That is
Well,
your this is
no.
how
You're
you
supposed to be
say it.
going off and getting those people and bringing them.
No, it is easy. I just send
Go get
people are not
them. Go get
waiting.
them. Go get them
They are
and bring
not
them in.
waiting for me to call them. It's
Well,
like,
no,
hey,
you
you have.
said that you would go get them. So until you actually go and
I
get them.
will send a
Well,
message
okay,
to.
so
Okay,
hang
okay.
on. Now you're just talking over people. So.
All right. Well, he's gone, and I think we can let him, enjoy
No,
time.
he's not
out.
gone. He's still here.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's let him enjoy time out in the audience. Let's welcome Cash and Expect and Honey and Brandon. Welcome, everybody. How are you?
No. Hey, if he has evidence of something, he needs to bring evidence. That's how it is.
Donald, your wife is not letting me speak. Like
Okay,
Magic.
wait. 1 second.
Magic is Donald's wife.
Oh, not my wife.
Everybody
you
should
mean
know that.
you mean Magic? Oh, you meant
Yes,
Magic. Okay, I was about to get angry
Magic is your wife.
you might have
That is
insulted
the
my
truth.
wife,
She
but you
told
didn't
me that.
actually
She
insult.
told me that.
You didn't insult my actual wife. You insulted
It is.
Magic
She's your
instead.
wife.
So Magic,
He
you got
tried to
anything to
insult
say
you,
about that, buddy?
but
Here's what I have to say
he
about
shit the bed.
that. Here's what I have to say about that. Thank you very
Are
much.
you Donald's wife?
Wait. Let Magic go.
Donald, I met Donald 4 days ago. I'm number one. I'm pretty sure not Donald's type. Donald is not my type. And not to mention, people like what the fuck is that insinuation even? So, okay, okay.
Also, what part of the country are you in? East, west, middle?
Oh, I'm in the I'm in Midwestern Indiana.
I'm in Texas, so a little bit of geography between us too.
Mm-hmm. Lots of distance, actually. Welcome, Grizzly. Welcome,
Grizzly.
Piper.
Welcome, buddy. Grizzly always gets made moderator. Oh, Grizzly, meet Magic. Magic Chris is awesome. Piper.
Nice to meet you.
Piper's
Nice
awesome
to meet you too.
Welcome, Piper. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it deeply. You
What's
guys
up?
have no idea.
Well, what was up with the Darth Dawkins? Was he in a room this morning with mods in the God in the Convince Me God Exists room?
I was not here this morning, so I would not know.
I didn't set him up as a mod in any room. I know that much.
I swear I seen that this morning. Maybe I'm just tripping balls, but I was just like, I almost wanted to go in there and be like, what the fuck is happening here?
If he gets made mod in a room that I didn't start, I don't really care. Even if it's in my club or my house, I don't really care. But I will never ever make the man mods ever. Ever. Like ever. Like if Heisenberg's uncertainty principle applied to everything in the universe except for one thing, it would be that thing.
So, God.
So I met Magic Chris in the Flat Earth rooms. Magic Chris is awesome, by the way.
I've seen that you've been doing a lot more flat Earth rooms lately.
Yeah, I have.
Is that just like tickling your fancy or something like that? Like just trying to get more diverse?
So it's kind of like a grinder for your brain.
Yeah, no, I enjoy like being. I see. I think the flat Earth rooms are entertaining, especially Donald's, because I think the more like literal flat earthers we can get hooked into the room, the less are going out and radicalizing other people.
It's just how I feel about the Christians, especially the trolls. If they're here making fun of me in my room, they're not making fun of other people in other people's rooms.
Yeah, I go back and forth on thinking, what is more likely? Did Jesus actually rise from the dead, or is the earth flat? And I go back and forth on that idea.
Flat Earth, more likely.
Really?
Well, yeah, because natural things could cause a disc, but there's nothing natural that could cause a thing to reanimate after 3 days of being dead.
Yeah, I'd say Flat Earth is more likely.
I mean, that's my only demonstration that Flat Earth exists, is that it's more likely than Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it. I actually think that it's probably more likely that Jesus Christ rose from the dead due to this overwhelming evidence that we have that the earth is not flat, where there might be some possible or lack of evidence to say what happened with Jesus Christ.
Oh, no. The thing that I said was that there's more evidence for the flat earth than there is for the resurrection of Jesus. That's what I meant to say. I must have miscommunicated.
Piper, did you say something, or did you like unmute on accident?
I was gonna say something, but then
Go ahead,
I figured it wasn't that important.
Go ahead.
Well, no, all I was gonna say was in terms of like possibility of being true, I'd probably put Jesus' resurrection on like the same level as flat Earth because they both violate like the laws of physics, right?
And if
So.
I interrupted you, Piper, I apologize.
No, you didn't interrupt. Right, you're good.
Cool. Thanks.
Oh, well, I think.
Also, welcome Jack and Constantin. There's more. I can't read it. I'm sorry.
Well, I think if the Earth was flat, our whole understanding of like satellites and like physics would have to change.
Oh,
where I think like there might be like some like naturalistic type explanation that could possibly be presented for Jesus rising from the dead.
The problem is that if Jesus is actually the Son of God and is, perfect and all of that, that means that all of his references to the Old Testament corroborate the Old Testament, making the Old Testament true. I can't accept that because there are so much evidence against the everything that happens in the Old Testament.
Oh, and then also if we're talking about like the Bible especially, it's like There is so much cultural and historical context when it comes to the Bible that we have in our hands today.
Sure.
You know, there's just so much to be taken into
It took me
consideration.
5 years, 5 solid years of study to get through ancient Hebrew culture.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different fucking beast, for
It
sure.
was awful. It was the worst 5 years of my life. It's boring. All they do is so do you know how the Jewish priests used to stop the bleeding after a bris, like when they would the circumcision is called the bris. So you know how the Jewish priests used to stop the bleeding? They did it with their mouths.
You.
Yes.
But actually, there's some real fundamentalist Jewish cultures where the rabbi still does
And
do that.
the herpes virus, it runs rampant in those societies.
Wait, but like, I'm confused. Like, what? Okay. Like, are you just bringing this up?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is God room, and it's about the Bible because it's in the Bible. So that's why I brought it up. But we were talking about like gods and stuff, right? Or did I just like totally miss?
No, I was just saying, like, talking about like the historical context of the Bible in terms
Yeah.
of like stories that are within it. It's like a lot, especially of the Old Testament. If we're gonna start, wait, is the Old Testament the flood and all that shit?
Yes.
Yes.
Thought so. So yeah, essentially we're talking about the Old Testament. For example, you know, the flood story has a lot of like synchronicities to like the Epic of Gilgamesh, which predates
Oh,
the
sure, yeah.
Bible. So, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, the stories within the Bible don't have their own, you know, faith associated around them. Like, obviously they do. But these stories within the Bible have, you know, sort of their own place within history before they were written into, like, this monotheistic context, you know?
Sure.
The Bible essentially syncretized, you know, a lot of things. You know, they were not able to.
But wait,
They were what?
is it accurate?
Not the King James edition.
Well, what do you mean by accurate?
I think accurate
What
to
do I mean?
me.
Okay, so no, I asked the question. So, what do I mean by accurate is comport with history, what we know, what we can demonstrate about history.
And you're talking about the Old Testament?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I'd say.
accurate means. How closely to demonstrable history does it match?
Well, anything before
Yeah.
David and Solomon is not historical at all. But starting
Sure.
with David and Solomon, you have, some things that match history. Not exactly, but
Sure.
Well, when you're talking about the Old Testament, yeah, I don't think there's much accuracy there at all. But I think maybe some of the stories in the Gospels, there might have been
No,
some
every
in.
gospel contradicts every other gospel, where they don't match each other word for word.
And I
Yeah.
apologize, but where I wanted to like wrap up just like really fast was that in order to you know, bring in the amount of cultures that the Abrahamic religion did, they had to sort of bring in the cultural beliefs of what they were absorbing, which is another way we get a lot of connotation and contexts within the Bible. So that's where I was sort of landing with that.
Thank you. Sorry we diverged.
No, you're good. I just wanted to get that out before we strayed too far.
Thanks. Magic Chris is a person that I met over on the Flat Earth channel, which is bounds and bounds of fun. Oh my gosh, I've been having so much fun being insulted by the Flat Earthers. Their insults are much less devastating than the Christians. The Christians are way better at insults than the Flat Earthers, just so y'all know.
All right, so it looks like we have a bunch of new people in the room. Hello, Renzo, Michael, Jack, Honey, Mason. Oh wait, I feel like sorry. Hello.
Constantine, or is it just Constantine? It might just be Constantine.
just Constantine is not that
Just
hard
Constantine.
one.
Constantine.
That's an angel in the Old Testament, right?
No, it's the Roman emperor who made Christianity the official religion.
Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, it was Emperor Constantine.
Yeah.
Fucked a bunch of shit.
I'd like everybody to know that I am drinking, I am drunk, I am not accurate. If I try to tell you that I am accurate, don't believe me.
No, I was drunk earlier, but I'm way sober now.
I still got like half a bottle to drink.
All right, so theists in the room, let's hear your argument.
Is there a theist?
All is God.
Allah is God. Michael.
No, all. A-L-L, not
all is
A-L-L-A-H.
God. Okay, so you're okay. So anybody else? That was good though. You did a good. That was really good. Like that's kind of what they sound like. Allah, but it's not quite Allah.
Yeah,
Donald.
See, I'm drunk. I'm sorry. I'm drunk.
Listen. If it gets too much, just watch out for the little.
I still haven't gotten my soundboard to work yet, have I?
Just use the one that Clubhouse gives you.
Well, no, because I can't hook up my condenser mic to that.
Wait, see, on the iPad, it's literally just you hit sound and then boom.
Well, except I have a condenser mic, and you can't just like hook that up to your computer. You have to. It has to go through a loop to increase the voltage, or the voltage, so that you can run it. But you have to have a sound card or a soundboard that's physical. Like, well, maybe not physical. Yeah, I think you have to have a sound card. It has to run off of a sound card.
Girl, that's doing a whole lot.
Yeah, my brother gave me the money to buy a few like a new computer, and when I bought the best computer I could find, I had a few dollars left over, so I bought like a professional mic, and it does not work every time, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm sure it will work fine once I figure out actually how to use everything about it, but it's very like unpredictable right now. But it's my understanding that is unpredictable, not the microphone.
Wait, was somebody trying to speak just then?
Go ahead.
No, I thought I heard somebody come off their mic.
Sure. If someone did, go ahead, talk. I'd love to have a conversation. Boris, feel free to come on stage. Also, Crunchy, you came in a little while ago. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.
All right, so who here believes in the Abrahamic God? Just do a little emoji. I'm curious. Or follows. Maybe that's the better word. Who here practices devotion to the Abrahamic God?
Hero, come on stage. Feel free.
What's up?
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me.
You are
welcome.
So, are you a theist, an atheist, or something in between?
Something in between.
Okay. Do you have like a religion, particular? Oh, wait. No, ignore that question. I retract that question. Do you have a scripture that you read?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't subscribe to any particular religion. I mean, I would never try to convince. So maybe I'm not right for this room. I would never try to convince someone that God exists, because that's dumb.
That's
but yeah, I've had a near-death experience that was like godly, and I sort of give credence to it, but I'm not at her trying to sell anything.
How long did they tell you were dead for?
Whether or not I actually died is still up in the air, because services showed up pretty late. I think they speculate that I kind of came back on my own, but they also did tell me that it's very probable that I was dead for a minute or so.
I was dead for 45 seconds to a minute.
Anything interesting about that? Did you experience anything?
Well, okay. Can you give me a minute to explain?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I have also undergone general sedation. I've had surgery 3 times now, but the first time that I had surgery was on my knee. I tore my ACL, and I had to have complete ACL reconstruction of my left knee. And right in the middle of the operation, I woke up and started pulling the tube out of my throat. They intubate you whenever they sedate you fully so that they can control your breathing. Otherwise, you die. And shortly after that, the doctor said something I don't remember anymore, and I went back to sleep and then woke up in the recovery room being told about the adventure of me pulling the tube out of my throat. So that feeling, that general sedation with me pulling the thing out of my throat, that felt exactly the same as when I woke up coughing water out of my lungs after drowning and being resuscitated. There was zero difference. They felt exactly the same, every single bit of it. I was awake, there was no time passage, and then I was awake again. Blackness between with no time.
Sounds like my coma.
Hey, yes, sedation is almost exactly like a coma.
Donald, I remember what the doctor told you, or what the doctor said. Actually, I was there, and basically was, bitch, put some more anesthetics in that system so he can go back to sleep, and then that was it.
Oh my God, you're psychic.
I have.
No, I was there. I was there in the
memory.
operating room.
I have a vague memory of the doctor because I had spoken to the doctor many times before. That was the second time I had seen that doctor about that knee. Over a span of 10 years. 5 years, sorry. 5 years. But I have a vague notion of what he said. He said something like, doctor, my patient is awake. Would you mind adding more medicine? Or something like that.
What did I tell you? That's exactly what I was told you. I was there.
No, my doctor was utterly...
Just cleaned it up a little bit.
Wait, no. My doctor was utterly, completely polite and considerate. Your doctor sounded like an asshole.
No. He was like, bitch, what the fuck?
See that right
Turn
there?
that shit up.
My doctor never would have said that, and that's not what I perceived when I woke up in the middle of my surgery either.
Yeah, you're misremembering, Donald.
Sure, that might be true.
Magic, how long were you in a coma for? I mean, I've
5 days.
I've never talked. I've talked to a lot of very interesting people. I don't believe I've ever spoken to somebody who's legitimately in a coma. What is that like?
At least for me, it was like, it was a lot of like flashing in and out of consciousness, and then at a point I was just completely out. My out period lasted for 5 days, and intermittently I experienced what I identify as an out-of-body experience that felt like it lasted 30 minutes, and then I returned to my body. But that was my only, like, cognizant perception, was what felt like 30 minutes of being someplace else.
Oh, shit.
God. Did anything that you saw in your...
Hang on, Rascal, you cannot diminish a person's...
Don't entertain them, just ignore it, move on. That's like...
I have a good question, I think.
I just wanted to say that you can't diminish a person's experience without having an experience of your own. Have you ever been in a coma, Rascal?
Oh, you're platforming them for being a jerk.
Hang on, if you just let him answer, I'd be done. Rascal, you ever been in a coma?
No.
Okay, go ahead, finish up.
I just had one question about, like...
Actually, I have.
No, hang on. Everybody, hang on. Stop. No, Magic gets to finish up.
Yeah, no, I think that was like that. Yeah, I was basically like in an in-between space, and then I returned to like actual consciousness. But in terms of like what I experienced like through time or whatever, I did. Okay, is he still here? Who asked me a question a minute ago? Or did they just leave?
I have a legitimate question. Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, what's up?
So, there's the out of body experience is well documented. Whether or not it's a paroxysm of a dying mind and it's all subconscious or whatever. but did any of your out of body experience align with what was actually happening in the room that you were dead in, or not dead, but in a coma?
Girl, it was a desert. I was in a hospital room.
Gotcha. That was my question. Gotcha. Cool.
No, like I don't deny that my mind was dying. Like that was like literally what was actively happening. My brain was swelling, my organs were shutting down, and I fell into coma. Like, but you know, I really do believe that there is an inherently spiritual aspect to an out of body experience. Now, I also recognize that the science behind it. There are plenty of chemical synapses going off, but you know, there is something that is happening subconsciously that triggers a different viewpoint in the world, and I think that is inherently mystical to a degree.
I agree.
You know, and I'm not saying it's, you know, I'm not saying it's this or it's fucking that. I'm saying, like, this is what I experienced, this is how I felt, and, you know, it definitely does. Like, after going through an experience like that, it really does change your viewpoint on things. You know, I can say that for myself, I started to recognize sort of, you know, the interconnectedness between people, like, I don't know, like that bigger picture thinking is something that I don't think a lot of people consider until they're confronted with their own mortality. And being able to come back from, you know, an actual like brush with death, you know, what better position to be in to like contemplate the world we live in after that, you know, like literally gifted a fucking second chance practically. So that's what I have.
I remember the first thing that I said when I was woken up from my near-death experience was I asked. I wasn't really that lucid, but I asked the person. I was like, "Did you feel that?" Because I just thought like everybody had to have felt what I felt. Um, you know, obviously as time went on, clearer heads, you know, came about. But at the time, I was like, you had to have felt that, and it was like I was just talking crazy.
Right. And you know, so it's like, you know, I also like have my own like, you know, like foundational like spiritual beliefs, but it's like I'm very eclectic, you know, you know, more, you know, beyond spiritual beliefs, I have fucking morals, you feel me? And I think that's like what people, you know, I feel like people a lot of theists, like if they are, you know, theistic, especially within the Abrahamic faith, they like to like pin the Bible as like, you know, the only reason for morality when that's just simply not the case. Humans have the choice to be moral or immoral, and the immoral and moral are based on our own specific standards that we hold ourselves to. And I mean, just some people don't hold themselves to those standards, so they look to some outside source to do that for them. And it's like, you know, we lose that the second we're no longer children, so they're looking to, you know, some creator larger than themselves to place that trust in to tell them what to do. And I think it's, you know, it's that level of given obedience that people willfully give away that has caused a lot of strife within society. And I think it's directly correlated to the Abrahamic faiths, period. And I can give examples of this also. You know, it's not like I'm just talking out my ass.
Thank you so much.
And I don't hate on that. Like, I mean, you know, there's definitely some reliable evocation of religious experience amongst the Abrahamic faiths. Like they, you know, like there's definitely some evidence that like, you know, people do well if they're in a bad place and they turn to these faiths. There's no doubt about it. But what I find so interesting about the near death experience specifically is that when like in psychedelic experiences as well, but people come back and they say, well, it was not only was it more real than anything I ever experienced in my waking life, but there's a lot of similarities. And that's where like I kind of have a hard time with Freud's explanation that it's a paroxysm of a dying mind. If it was, then you would think it would be much more attuned to the person reporting that experience. So it's hard to
Well,
it's hard
okay.
it's hard to
1 second,
reconcile
right
that.
there. I need to add something to that because it is very much attuned to the person experiencing it. It is very much attuned to their upbringing. So, in a near-death experience, children who have not been exposed to religion a great deal, like under 3 years old, when they have a near-death experience, they experience Santa.
Well, sometimes they do.
No,
It's not
almost
like
exclusively. No. Almost exclusively when under 3 or 4 year old people have near death experiences, it is of Santa.
Can I make a clarification though? That's probably like very specific to like Western medical science though.
Sure,
yeah, that
in America. Sure.
yeah. That's what I was getting at. I'm like not just because like it doesn't just mean like under 3 near death experience equals Santa Claus hallucination. Like
Well, I'm
that's
American. I apologize. I assumed everybody here knew that I meant America. I apologize for making that assumption. I won't do it again.